we're going to evaluate something that's very common and yet very rare. We have a 100% American-made AK-47. It's made by Century Arms, and it's called
Centurion 39 Sporter.
Yes, the Centurion 39 Sporter. And like an idiot, I bought this one too, but I like it. And Ken hasn't looked at it. I have.
I think we looked at it. I looked at it a little bit, but not. It's an AK, so it was. What do I need to be looking at?
Please notice the receiver. It's not a sheet metal stamping. It's machined. Wow.
How old are you? 13, 14?
Yeah, I'll be 72.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I don't like.
What?
The original AKs had the multi-wire springs. I like that. This one doesn't, which you can replace it.
It's an American spring.
You can replace it, but I like the multi-coiled.
But the hammer has basically 2 sears.
It does. It's got the 2, and I like that. They didn't cheapen that at all.
Yeah. So it grabs on both sides.
Oh, I can see that you've dropped the hammer a couple times without the bolt in it.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I want you to notice the rear sight.
It's adjustable.
Yes, for windage and elevation.
It's an AK. It doesn't even need a rear sight. You just spray lead out there, you'll get
that would
eventually.
fit a 98 Mauser. Wouldn't you like that? It just might. Or be adapted to one, huh?
I like a good AK.
Yeah. This appears to be a good one. The machining,
Made in USA.
Made in the USA. The machining is quality. It's definitely better than what's on a lot of so-called American sporting rifles. I'm impressed with it. I think they've done a good job. You're right about the spring. I wish it was the Russian.
But that can be replaced. That was just one thing that just in passing. The firing pin looks a little flat.
Well,
but most of your AKs are flat.
The AK round has, 812 pounds per square inch, so it doesn't matter. How flat is it? I didn't notice that. Yeah, flatter than I would like. I'd hemisphere that dude. But I haven't shot it, so I can't tell you if it's... Well, I know it'll work because it's an AK round, but... and the front sight is red, and it appears to be plastic, and I'll bet you that it is.
Now, they're making all this? They're making the bolt carrier and the bolt and everything?
Yeah, 100% American.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I suspect that many of the parts would interchange.
How well does the safety engage?
Lots.
Well, you get a fair amount of movement, but yeah, I mean.
Oh, I think that's what you were checking. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to see how much it engaged. How much movement did the trigger have?
About half disengaged before it stops, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which if you did a trigger job, you would have to
right,
but we usually do anyway.
The the hammer and the disconnector are both cast.
They're hard. I checked them.
I'm not going to drop that on the ejector like you do.
I don't mind. It's my gun.
I know, but I'm going to lower it. But you'd give me a hard time if I did. And, well, you should. I gave you a hard time because, I don't care for the cast parts, but they, it'll work.
Well, most of the imports are cast anyway.
The trigger's Tapco, U.S. made.
No kidding.
I
didn't see that.
Right
yeah, you're right. Yep. Saving where they can. I think the expensive part of this gun
is probably the milled receiver.
Yeah, the milled receiver. They use American-made barrel, and he asked him what brands, and they were all American-made, and I've forgotten who they were, what they were. But they're not Krieger barrels, but they're a decent barrel. Tapco magazine.
Would you buy one, Bob?
As a matter of fact, I would. The only thing I don't like about it, well, actually, 2 things, and they're pretty minor. This has the Peckinini rails. I like a smooth forend. I don't like putting all this crap on the gun because it makes it heavier. I would rather just point and shoot and not worry about it. And then I believe I lost it. I think there was a lock washer under there. This is held on by a spring-loaded plunger. They screw it down till it snugs up and line it up and let the plunger engage it. Comes apart pretty easily. It is an AK-47, and I like it.
I'd imagine that the parts just interchange.
Yeah. Now I have a Polytech Chinese-made machine receiver.
No, you don't.
I do.
No.
Okay, somebody does. And this is nicer made than it.
If I find it before you do, you won't have it.
Yeah. But it has a wooden stock.
Yeah.
And you know, I have not checked to see if a wooden stock would fit on one of these. But if it had a wooden stock, then it wouldn't be a black gun, would it? It'd be a brown gun.
Well, what's not to like, really? It's an AK.
Yeah.
So
you know what I didn't check, and I should, but I'm sure they do. Magpul magazine should fit.
does Magpul make an AK mag?
Don't they?
I'm asking you. You're the one that just said they did. I don't think they do. I thought they were all AR stuff.
Could be. No, I'm pretty sure. I got a catalog. I think, I don't know. I think they do, though.
Yeah.
But you don't think they do? If you don't think they do, you're probably right.
I don't know.
Oh.
But I don't think so. I don't think they
Okay, well then, Magpul doesn't make a magazine for this gun. Ken said so, and he's never wrong. Honest, he never is.
I'm wrong.
I
think they've even caught me.
Who has?
Well, them on camera once or twice.
Eliminate them.
All right, well, we'll get this off to the boys.
Yep. I like it, and yes, I would buy one, Ken.
Yes, I think I would too.
Okay.
Yeah, I would, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, here you're looking at Uncle Bob's newest acquisition. He sent it down for us to try because he was so proud of it. This is from Century Arms, and it's an all-American AK. Now, that may sound like a misnomer, but in fact, the entire gun is made in America. As many of you know now, we can't import assault weapons or things of that nature anymore. They have to have X number of American parts. Well, they decided as long as we're doing it, we'll just make an entirely all-American gun. And I'll tell you, from looking at it, with all of the features they have in rails and stuff, the fit, the finish is really, really, really so superior to what I used to see in my old senior trip days in Southeast Asia. One thing it does have, though, is it still has that AK safety. The one that saved the lives of 10,000 GIs, because it made so much noise when they took them off. All right, well, what we have here is we've got a barrel that measures in at 17 1/4 inches. Actually, for ballistic purposes, the end of the barrel is here, up here inside the break, and it measures 16 1/4. So even with that break off, the barrel would still be legal. So 16 1/4 without the break, 16 1/4 if you're figuring for ballistics, and 17 1/4 for actual length. Now the weight of the gun is 7 pounds and 4 ounces, and the trigger is still feels pretty much like an AK. It's long. .575, 5.5 pounds. £6 pounds, 3 ounces, or almost 6 1/4 pounds. And 6 pounds, 4 ounces, or 6 1/4 pounds. So, around 6 pounds or so. You have all of that long trigger, and I'm kind of excited. I'd like to get out in the range and shoot this and see if it works as well as it looks. One thing they have a reputation for is going bang every time you pull the trigger. Let's see if this does it with some more style.
Now we're going to test fire the Centurion Arms 39. This is our all-American AK. We're going to be firing 122 grain Wolf jacketed hollow points at 50 yards. Let's give it a run. All right, that was 5. Let's go check the results. Well, the results from our chrono reveal that the high was 2,298 feet per second, low was 2,222, the average was 2,251, the extreme spread 76, and the standard deviation was 31. Not bad for just wolf military commercial type ammo. Let's see the results on paper. This gun was shot right out of the box with open sights. I had a 6 o'clock hold, and you can see that it printed up here about 6 inches higher than the bullseye. The overall spread of the group was about 3.5 inches, but if you eliminate this one down here, it really tightens up to about 2 inches. That wasn't bad with open sights, but I'd kind of like to see how this rifle would perform with a short scope. For my eyeballs, it'd probably do a lot better. Well, I'm going to run a couple of magazines quickly through it to see how the gun functions for reliability. All right, now we're going to put the Centurion here through its paces. I have a clear plastic magazine made in Bulgaria. I like the concept of knowing how many rounds with a quick visual that I've got left, but I don't trust plastic magazines a lot. I've had problems with them in the past. Haven't tried this magazine yet, so this is right out of the box, so let's see how she works. I'm going to fire this magazine. I'm going to do a reload. I'll talk about that on the way, and we'll just see where she goes. Let's go rock and roll. Well, for starters, a little tough coming up and over that first round, and that's with a full 30 rounds in the magazine. Loaded? Okay, here we go. Reload. Okay, I'm coming around. I'm taking the other magazine. I'm pushing against the mag catch. I'd like to be able to do it up here. And if you practice enough, you could. You push forward. It drops that magazine. You bring this one back like that. Rock it into position. Come over the top. Go. Go down. Come up with another magazine. Go in. Go. Okay. 3 magazines. Ran great. All made in America. I like it. All right, guys, you saw me shoot this Centurion 39, and it certainly worked for me, but what did you guys think? Ron?
Nice gun. Shot well, accurate, and good shooting.
Okay, how about you, Lene?
No recoil. Nice.
All right, Jack?
Typical AK. It does what it's supposed to do. It goes bang when you pull the trigger, and it certainly is a lot better made than the ones I saw about 40 years ago.
Well, once again, you know, sometimes we have a bias when we get something and we try not to, but I had a little bit of a bias against this, even though my friends at Century put out some good stuff. I thought, yeah, an American AK, how good's that going to be? Well, fit, looks good, it feels good, it shoots good, it's more accurate than some of the AKs I've fired across the board, and you saw me run it, it runs. So, guys, I don't know about you, but I'm giving this one a thumbs up, big time.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the price is good, too.
Happy birthday, America.